is sponsored by Sun Life Financial. I don't believe we have a representative from there here today, but we also thank them for their contribution to our program. Our last team of the afternoon is Tim and Gabe. Two little girls, and on one of the first trips when he took Gabe home, just when he was in class, I get sent a picture of Gabe playing Barbies. Kind of knew right there was something to him when he came. So Gabe was raised by Tony Dixon, and Tony's here to present Gabe to Tim.
Hi, I'm Tony Dixon. I raised Gabe sophomore year. He went everywhere with me, riding the bus, everywhere that I went, the mall. He was just like everywhere with me. He was such a huge part of my family, and I'm glad that he's here today with you.
So my name is Tim Cross, and Gabe is my amazing diabetic alert dog. We're incredibly privileged to be paired together and be graduating today, and I want to share the story of Gabe's first alert with me so that to help you understand our relationship. Our family has a collection of special needs. I have cystic fibrosis, which is the cause of my diabetes, and my wife has debilitating pain cycles. One of my daughters has autism, and the other bears the emotional load of a family fraught with challenges. We weren't sure at first that adding a dog to this mix was a good idea. And in fact, we bowed out of the program shortly after initially being accepted. We were worried that the dog would be more of a burden than a benefit. But we decided against all odds to persevere, and through the course of the training, I was fortunate enough to take Gabe for an overnight. This was the first overnight, and this first overnight happened to be when we were going to a large convention type event through our church. This is when Gabe first proved himself to us. My autistic daughter eloped. She ran off shortly after we arrived. She was stressed by the crowds. So I told her to hold on to Gabe's vest. And he not only allowed himself to be her anchor, leading her through the crowds, but he kept his attention on me, doing double duty in a chaotic situation. That was victory number one. Later after lunch, we found a quiet spot to relax in. My wife was starting to feel pain build up and she needed to rest. As we were sitting, Gabe lay at my feet, and then I noticed him start drooling. I couldn't figure out what it was at first, but then he sat up and he stared at me so intently. A second later, he was alerted by grabbing his brinzel. Without feeling it, I had been dropping dramatically, and he picked up the scent. Because of his alert, I was able to take action before going low. That was victory number two. My wife continued to decline, and we had to leave the event early. By the time we got home, my wife couldn't walk, so I had to carry her into the house. At this point, I was stressing out because I couldn't manage the leash at the same time, and I had to drop it just to focus on my wife. But Gabe followed me closely everywhere. He was watching out for me while I was trying to manage everything else. That was victory number three. When we first met, I thought Gabe was a weird name for a dog. But now, I think that Gabe is short for Gabriel, who in the Bible is one of God's guardian angels, and that is very appropriate. Because I believe that is exactly what God has made this dog, Gabe, to be for me. That day, Gabe proved himself beyond a doubt as being the right dog for my family. He was ready to give to every need, to work in the most trying of situations, and he has continued to prove himself day after crazy day with us. All the credit goes to the amazing work that the puppy raisers like you, Tony Dixon, to the fosters like Lauren, and the D4D trainers, everybody, all that you guys have invested into it. We can't thank you enough for the generous sponsorship like the Sun Life Financial who helped fund the awesome program. Mark, it's just amazing what you've started here. And we couldn't have afforded to get a dog as amazing and life-saving and life-enabling as Gabe for such without all this munificence. My family is grateful beyond expression. And because of all of you, we have Gabe. And with his help, we continue to overcome life's challenges and to live relentlessly well. Thank you for letting me share.
We love you, Gabe.